Okay, that'd be great if, like, I didn't start this off with a big ol' yawn. Okay, oh, what just fell? Whatever. Okay, so, hello, and welcome to another scene in Changeling the Dreaming, where Rides is going to go do a couple things today. To start off, he's going to go talk to the Baron, and we will continue or the Duke, and we will continue from there. So the Duke is the Duke of Dublin, runs over the Duchy of the Just Heart, and he's known for being really how to phrase it. He's like a complete opposite to Tintagel in the way that he doesn't view commoners as trash and something to just manipulate when, he needs it. He is very much one of the very few Shi who are just like, yeah, dude, let's give, commoners rights. That's cool. I'm gonna make them the heads of, like, my baronies and shit. Like, let's do it. And he's also a Fiona. Rather old. He's getting up there in age. When Rides arrives to his freehold, it, on the outside, seems relatively normal, just like any other kind of freehold. Except for the part that this is a bank, which is really odd considering banks are very banality heavy and they usually don't work real well with changelings. But the closer he gets to this freehold, the more he begins to realize this is unlike any bank I've ever seen before. As he walks in, and instead of the boring waiting lines and, formal dress code and professionalism, it's the complete opposite. It's what one might call a millennial's dream or something like that. I don't know. There are employees with tattoos and piercings and crazy hair colors all over the place. They're, doing their job. It seems to be that this is a bank to pretty much help the younger generation kind of feel more at ease having to do things that they've, well, never ever had to do before, such as open a bank account and deal with, credit and things of that nature. Everything, is going pretty well. Most of the people around here are changelings. And it all seems to be really professional, honestly, even though they are dressed in what many would consider not professional attire. But, hey, they do their job. A short little stout boggin will kind of walk up, look over to Rides, just kind of look up at him and say, so what you need?
I'm here to see the big fella, the Duke.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so what you're gonna want to do, you're just gonna want to go down that hallway. You're gonna meet Squire Philip. Please don't freak him out. But Squire Philip will lead you through.
Okay. Stares around like this is a bank, kind of nodding to himself as he's walking along. Like, well then.
Yes, this is a bank, and it's very bright, lots of colors, so many flowers, and all of the walls have been, it's not like one shade of paint. They're all murals. Like, he's allowed, just artists to come in and draw what they want. There's even a section of the wall where it's that chalkboard paint, and there's different colored chalks to where, people's children, as they're trying to do their bank stuff, and they bring their children along, they're not having to, like, shush. Their kids can go over and draw on the wall. So he follows down that hallway, and there's a little desk with a corgi Puka standing, not sitting, standing behind the desk. He's not very tall, only about, 5 foot, give or take. And his little ears are pointed, and he's kind of hopping to each foot, back and forth on each foot as he's kind of shuffling paperwork. And he just kind of looks up and he's like, "Oh, and we'll kind of squint. Hello. I don't know if you're a knight or a squire. Hello.
I'm a squire. It's okay. Hi. Hello.
Oh my God, you're really really tall.
Yeah. Got it off from my mother. Like nods.
How? Okay. Okay. Is there how can I help you?
I'm here to see the Duke, fellow.
Okay. I can. I can do that. Yeah. Just stay right here, and I'll go get him. Okay, sounds good.
Okay. Take your time.
Okay. And he doesn't walk. He runs, pitter patter, down the hallway. His little corgi tail just flapping wildly in the wind as he runs.
Oh. Even Ryder is just thinking that, like, oh, look at you. Oh.
Everyone believes that Squire Philip is a sweet little cupcake. It's easy to tell why. There's also some people who think that he can kick some major ass, but that's yet to be seen as he faints when he sees, like, anybody injured. A couple minutes pass, maybe like a minute and a half if you're really pushing it, and there's the pitter patter as he runs back up, and he's hopping because he's like, oh my God, I'm doing stuff. Oh, yes. And he'll go, Squire, if you would like to follow me, please.
No problem at all. Nods, smiling, stands up.
Okay, sweet. The Duke will see you now.
Great, wonderful. You're doing a great job, by the way, as he's walking along.
And he's just kind of like he was bouncing on like the balls of his heels at first, but now he's like on his tippy toes, and he's like he looks so incredibly happy. Like his eyes just go wide, and they're like, you could swear if this was anime they'd be fucking sparkling right now as he's looking up at Rise, and he's like, really?
Oh, really? You're doing great. Keep up the good work. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you. And it looks like he's really trying his hardest not to run down this hall, because he's like, okay, this are the people. Don't want to run down the hall. I gotta walk. And he's just like, he'll kind of speed up a couple steps, and then he's like, oh God, gotta stop. And so he'll slow down and take those like over exaggerated steps. Then he gets ahead of himself, and he starts kind of like going down the hall again.
Right's heart totally melts watching this whole process. He's like, oh, buddy. He's walking along. Oh.
So he eventually leads you to, kind of like a double-doored office, which is really weird because most offices usually have like a door, but this one's double-doored because, changeling. And he'll open one of the doors, and on the inside is a little kind of like waiting area, antechamber kind of thing. On either side of the doors in there are, 2 knights just kind of standing at attention. They both have halberds and, chainmail and whatnot, looking very imposing. One's a troll, the other is a red cap. Yeah, troll and red cap. Though the red cap looks like he's taken a bite out of his chainmail.
God damn it. Walks in, kind of stares like, metal. And then will kind of stand to attention almost himself, like, ugh. I'm a kind of wait to be addressed, essentially.
Neither of the knights say anything. What happens is Philip will just kind of he'll do this kind of hilarious looking salute where he'll stand up on his tippy toes and he'll whoa to attention, and then he'll just open the door and motion for Rides to go in.
Gives Philip just this big pat on the shoulder, like, attaboy, as he's walking, like, walks in.
Philip is just smiling widely, like, I did good. I am the bestest boy. I am the goodest boy.
Oh. Yeah, he gets a pat for being the best boy as he walks in.
So the door is shut, and you are met face to face with the Baron. Not actually face to face, because he's sitting across at his desk. The room in here is a lot more mellowed compared to the bank. There's a nice little couch over there. If you look really closely, Rides might be able to notice like one or two blood spots on the couch that have been kind of hidden and fluffed as much as, one can do for blood spots. You can assume that since, Karina and Tintagel and pretty much most of the other PCs are here, that they've probably just brought in unconscious bodies, that they've unconscious, people, and just thrown them in front of the Duke, just kind of like, here, I did it. Did I do good?
So, Ride's like, oh, okay, well, thanks to Lord he doesn't have anything to bring, because it's like, okay, we're okay, as he's walking along.
On the other end is a pretty large bookshelf that kind of dominates the wall, and in front of that is a very nice looking oak desk with a ton of papers just stacked on top of it, and an oddly really old looking PC, because Duke, try as he might, he's not entirely up to the times yet. But there's so much paperwork and sticky notes just covering his monitor. When I say old, I mean like this is freaking, it's not Windows 98, but it's like when you'd go into a school's lab, their computer lab, and it's got he's clearly very old. He's got a nice, I don't want to say really bushy beard. Oh my god, actually I have a picture for him. Where'd it go? I got this. He's got a sword in this picture, but his sword is to the side right now. Where'd it go? I swear if I lost it... There it is. Yeah, that's him. Just doing his chi shit.
Yeah, of course Rides bow and do all the formal etiquette as well, doing his best from what Catherine taught him.
The Duke will kind of incline his head in a bow, because, Duke Squire, it's like freaking 3-4 dots worth of difference right there. But, at the same time, it's like, yeah, this is this is one of the people in my duchy, I ain't gonna be mean to him. Like, they, I get, yeah. And he'll say, if I remember from my notes correctly, you are the... Yes. Squire Rides the Lightning?
Yes, that's me. Yes, Your Grace.
Wonderful. Please take a sit. What can I... Please take a seat.
Rides awkwardly stands there, like, oh. But,
no, that was me. I'm very tired. You would have said seat. Please.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, totally take a seat.
Take a sit, honey. Take a sit. Until go. And how may I help you this evening?
There was something I wish to discuss with you. Something important. I feel anyway, to me.
Okay. And what would this be?
The topic of knighthood has come up a few times. I am of course, under the squireship of Lady Catherine, who is a knight to Lord Tintagel. I don't want to be the one that gets knighted by him. I want to earn my knighthood. I feel personally it's been handed to me and I don't deserve it because I have not earned it in my head. I'm a fighter. I fight. I used to fight in bare knuckle boxing championships. I joined up to fight in a war. I want to help the people because I want to have these two things in my hands that I can say that are mine and not taken from me at the whims of someone who doesn't believe in the people.
He nods and kind of clasps his hands together in front of him, after setting his pin down. This dude has a freaking inkwell and like one of the freaking ink pens. Okay, he's old.
Fancy.
Yes. And he'll go, I can understand that entirely. Lady Catherine is a noble soul. The Count has his own ways of going about things, to phrase it politely. To make sure that I am understanding your meaning correctly. You do not wish a knighthood from him, but from someone else where you can actually earn it.
Nod.
And you're a squire of which house?
House Dougal, since she's under service of Tintagel.
He nods.
But I was looking to join House Fiona, and I believe that in order to prove myself worthy of a house and prove myself worthy of this kingdom, I have to earn that knighthood, not just hand it freely.
He nods. Okay. Then, He kind of purses his lips as he starts thinking. He lifts a hand up and kind of rubs his beard, just kind of like, yes, it's a nice beard. Beardy beard. As I stall for time as I try to find something. Where'd it go? Oh no. Hold on. I'll find it eventually. Where'd it fucking go? As you can tell, I'm very organized.
Oh yes, Rides is meanwhile standing there awkwardly as this guy just strokes his beard all she and Duke like yes, yes. Which makes him more nervous, so Ride starts stroking his beard as well, going, It's more of a nervous, like, oh god, if he's stroking my beard, I better stroke my beard. Quick, quick!
I mean, that's certainly one way to go about it. So, he says, okay. There's something that's been eating away at the back of my mind. Something that it seems everyone has brushed to the side, which I can understand given that there are many, many other threats that this kingdom is currently under and dealing with. And I would usually let it go to the side, but the recent appearance of a cold iron bomb has brought up more concerns. Kind of taps his chin. If you are able and willing to find out more about a Duke Vesrin of Baelor, perhaps even his location, or if you could possibly even bring him back to this kingdom in, well, one piece or dead, given that he's a Baelor and what he's created in the past has been used for vicious things, then would you believe that you have earned the knighthood and a way into House Fiona?
It's a long pause. Writes, digests, thinks. Yes. For House Baelor, the subject of cold iron for me has a lot of personal connotations. And to bring him back to you, I think that would be something that I think I would earn my struggle and my knighthood for that.
He nods. And are you comfortable with your squireship with Lady Dawnhammer?
Lady Catherine has been a wonderful mentor and teacher.
She nods. Or he. That's a penis. Then it is done. You find out something about him and bring him here. Preferably alive, but if he is dead, that is fine. And you will have your knighthood into House Fiona. Do be careful. He is, from my reports, deep in Bedlam. It seems that there are many new she that have been cropping up that have been in Bedlam. But I suppose it is what it is.
Nods. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. And I thank you for the opportunity here, Grace. And thank you for your understanding.
There's no need to thank me. I have heard rumors of some of the things that you have done, and you certainly seem to be worthy of a position like that once it is earned. And that you will not abuse it as some do.
I have seen the abuse go on from those who have. And I care too much about the people in my heart to allow that to happen.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Katie. It's the last time I checked my Facebook during these scenes. So, he kind of nods, and there's a snap of his fingers as, you know, any good Duke she with high dots in contract would just, you know, let it be done, whatever. I can't remember the name, but it's like fourth or fifth dot in contract, where it's just kind of like a casual agreement. Fourth dot, yeah. I love contract. And it will be solidified in front, all nice and pretty, a piece of parchment wrapped or written on in really nice calligraphy. It will say pretty much the details of the contract. Do this, receive this. These are the people that agreed to it. It will roll itself up. Red wax will kind of appear on it, and then it will bring itself, like the sealed scroll parchment thing will kind of lower itself onto his desk, where he will plant his sigil into the wax, embossing it, and then he will just hand it over to Rides.
Takes it, examines it, just like any good savvy businessman, examines the fine print, just nods to himself. Everything looks in order.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that I can do for you this evening?
No, just that is everything. You've helped me more than you know, Your Grace.
I'm glad to hear it. I just wish for this duchy and all within it to grow and prosper.
With time, we can. Say, kind of very determined as he slowly stands up.
With time, we will. And he'll stand up as well and bow. Actually, bowing this time, not too deep, but I mean it's a bow. It's a whole bow.
Rides nods and bows back like, yes, you give me Fiona answer, yes! He's bowing.
Yes!
Rides bows and Fiona as he just nods and backs out slowly out of the room.
Yep. On the other side, there's still the troll. She just looks pissed, and the red cap's just kind of looking down at his chainmail like, I wonder.
This chainmail, though,
It's kind of tasty.
Rides will totally, nod at the two of them as he's walking by, and will pat the noble squire on the forehead, for he is the good boy, as he's walking out, going, "Thanks for your help, fella."
His tail was wiggling before. Now it's pretty much just him wiggling. Have you ever seen a dog that just gets really, really excited, and instead of it, staying to the tail, the wiggle moves to the butt.
Oh, it's the butt wiggle, yeah.
And so he's just wiggle, 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 wiggle. I am the good boy. Yes, I got a pat on my head. Yes, as his internal dialogue goes on, and he's just standing there, practically glowing at this point. And he goes, oh yes, seeing you out, yes. This way, please.
No problem at all. No problem at all. He smiles warmly, going, "Oh, you poor little fucking thing," walking along with him.
And he will, lead Rides back out to the front. He doesn't really go past his desk, because he's like, my desk. I'm gonna go back to my desk. He made it up here. He can make his way back out. I got this. Yes, I did my job. Woohoo! I'm gonna get some ice cream later tonight for my good job. And he's just kind of hopping back and forth once again behind his desk.
Right, just pats him again, giving that the good old-fashioned good boy pat of the head, and just nod, making his way home to Grace.
Grace could be having better days. She could. She really could. She's just sitting there, not really saying anything, and staring out of her window as the birds go by.
Rides takes a long breath when he enters his room, keeping the pearl in his jacket initially, and will just kneel down in front of her and say, "Hey, beautiful. I've got something that might bring you back." And he kind of shakes as he's putting his hand in his pocket. "In case you don't remember a thing. In case you don't remember me at all. Yeah, I don't think I need saying it. And he knows Grace won't answer, but it's kind of leaving it hanging out there in his head that he said that he's loved her and all that. It's just that he can't admit it, almost because he's just uncomfortable. We'll gently take the pearl out and put it in her hand and just enclose her hand around it slowly.
As the pearl is closed inside of her hand, there's a moment of silence that overcomes the room. She continues to just idly stare out the window, far off gaze, or with a far off gaze. And then there's a small cracking sound. And that noise loudens as, it sounds like something splintering, like ice when you step on it too hard and it, does that whole splitting thing. And then you're like, ah, fuck, right before you fall through the ice. It's coming from her hand. And eventually there's a little as the pearl shatters in her hand, turning to dust. The dust will sink into her hand in a perfect black circle. And then once more silence falls over the room. She begins to blink and blink. Sort of when you're just told news that you're not really quite sure how to handle, and so you just blink there. Blink, just looking incredulously at, well, everything.
You'll stare almost wondrously and say very softly, Grace.
Her gaze slowly focuses back in, and there's a visible change that happens to her as her mind works to correct itself from the previous traumas. She lifts up a hand and very slowly kind of rubs her forehead and just rubs and rubs. And then when she snaps her eyes back open again, she's there. And she looks down at Rides, her eyebrows kind of knitting together. She looks really confused. She says, "Yeah, what's going on?"
I just wanted to know if you needed dinner. Say, smiling as the tears are coming under his face. This joyous little half smile as he's totally not trying to cry, but she's there and just back as he just, yeah, I just wanted to know if you wanted dinner or not. That's all.
She'll reach out a hand and she'll, wipe away the tears and she'll say, "Nisha, why are you you silly one, why are you crying?"
Onions, really thick, really thick.
"But I don't smell any onions."
I had to, use some very thick stuff to get rid of the smell. Grace, I didn't want you, it was a tough situation,
Oh, my noble knight protecting me from the evil onions.
That's me. There's this very fond, loving stare, smiling. That's me.
What is for dinner anyway?
Well, I'm gonna make you your favorite.
Ooh. I can't wait. I'll help you make it.
Sure, that'd be great. I'd really like that.
And she kind of stands up. But then, as much as her mind might be back, her body is not as used to it is, or as used to, kind of walking around a lot and, steadily as it once was. And she just kind of, falls back down and as her legs just kind of plop. She just kind of, well, that's odd.
You're. He'll take both her hands. You've had a long while. There's going to be some things that it's going to take some time.
Why? What happened? I don't remember anything. I mean, nothing happened.
Nothing bad. It was just a bit of an accident. So, we've had a bit of a. You've been a bit, quiet and all that. So, I've been taking care of you.
I I don't remember that. I remember one night we were talking and then we went to sleep, and the next thing I remember is waking up here.
We had a little accident and bonked you on the head. And he'll say as he takes both her hands again, your memory's been a bit fuzzy. So, everything seems to be better now.
Oh. Okay. I'm glad to hear that then.
Yeah. You just got a bit of a fright, that's all. I was there. I took care of you.
Well, thank you. And she'll smile real wide.
He'll just nod slowly. There might be some a bit changes, the dreaming and all that. So don't panic. Don't panic. Everything's all right.
Why? What's happened to the dreaming?
He stares at her. She looks exactly the same, doesn't she? It's just her mind that's back. Essentially, if I'm yeah, okay. He'll nod and take a look at her hair. Well, unfortunately, Grace, he looks down at the strand of silvery hair, grey hair. It's been a while since you had to move around, so your hair kind of went a bit weird. Nothing crazy though. We can fix it.
Not. And, she just kind of finally realizes that as she looks at her hair and she's like, oh,
Hey, it's nothing bad. It's nothing bad, I promise.
I look so
We're just
old.
we'll fix that. The hair dye can do wonders for you, honey. We'll fix that, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Like I said, you took a bit of a bump, a few bruises. That may explain any bit of injuries that are going on. And I was there, took care of you. Everything's fine, okay?
Wait. How long has it been?
It's been a while, honey. It's been a while.
How long has it been?
A few months to a year, sweetheart.
Oh.
I know, it's a big shock. I know.
Oh. Okay.
It's alright. I've been taking care of you, keeping an eye on you. It's alright. I promise.
Thank you.
Just gives her a smile. I told you, I always would. what we're going to do is, if you don't want to look at yourself yet, I can take away all the mirrors from the house and we can slowly introduce that over time.
No. It'll it'll be fine. I'm not afraid of any mirrors. I'm tough.
Yeah, you are. Grins.
Yeah.
Toughest person I know. So, your legs are a bit wobbly, so what I'll do is, let me carry you downstairs and we can figure out dinner then.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
No problem. He just slowly, carefully picks her up very slowly. By the way, you're actually dating an actual, soon to be actual knight as well? I'm a squire now? Kind of wink as he's picking her up slowly.
A squire?
Mm-hmm.
No way. There's no way.
Totally. I had to keep you safe, so I did a few things, made a few moves.
That's... Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting to say the least.
I'm so proud of you. That's great. Congratulations.
I'm not over the hill just yet, don't worry. I still got a few things to do.
I mean, but at least you've gotten close. Like you've started on that path. If that's if that's what you want to do, then I'm gonna be there to back you up.
Just nods and smiles. Okay. There's a few people you gotta meet, but we'll work on that. For now, let's get you your favorite dinner anyway, and let me tackle the onions so I don't start crying again, because we don't want that.
Oh yeah, of course not.
Yeah, and he carries her downstairs very carefully, moving fast enough so she is spared of how she looks in the mirror, essentially.
And she's kind of thankful for that. You know, she's like trying to act tough and everything, like, oh, I'm not afraid of any mirrors, but it's, yeah.
And he'll settle her down very carefully. Yeah, he just basically takes care of her, takes all the mirrors out of the kitchen before he even lets her go in, and then just, bam. It's like, starts making her, helping her cook dinner with him, and just is very careful, very just way too like helicopter momish. Essentially, he's like, "I'm here, I'm there."
I'm everywhere. A motherfucking rides the lightning.
That's pretty much how he is.
Well, of course, she's not the best, and she's pretty shaky with, trying to cook. But she's doing her best. She's like, yeah, I got this. And then she starts doing it like, and it's like, oh, maybe I don't have this. My hand's kind of steady. Or it's not, as steady as it was, but she's trying to play it off. Like,
and then, yeah, you just take care of it the whole time. They will even say very supportively, like, I'm here. It's all right. These things take time. It was very like Irish mommy, essentially.
Okay. Anything else you want to do in this scene?
No. He'll just sit there cooking with Grace and just being absolutely delighted with himself for.
Okay. She'll crack up a couple jokes here and there too, just kind of like, blah 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 blah. And I think that is where we shall end the scene. Thank you, Claire, for playing. Thank you, Katie, for watching. This has been another scene in Changeling the Dreaming.